you.
So, in today's episode, we were going to go over the bands that we like, why you're dressed like this,
Weird drums.
the weird drum, AI, our up-and-coming shows, and some of the other platforms. So, let's just jump right into it. Why are we dressed the way that we're dressed?
Outfits. Well, earlier this evening, I played at a party. In a mariachi band. So this is the fit.
So, Ms. Reynolds, what got you into mariachi music?
Why would you ask me that? Look
Uh,
at me. I'm just kidding.
I mean, the way that you're dressed, your college major,
Right.
all the side projects that you're in.
Yeah. Well, I was a music and culture major. So I started playing mariachi like 3 years ago. And met some people in the class that were good and cool. So we decided to do some parties. And I bought the skirt with my little buttons.
How much did said skirt cost you?
$380.
$380. Wow. You must make a lot of money doing what you do.
No.
No?
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you play in a mariachi band?
I play guitarone.
Hey guys.
That's the worst.
Welcome back to the podcast, or AKA Dateline NBC. Going over a few different things today. But yeah, like, you clearly are inspired, at least a little bit, by mariachi music. Like, how did that start?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how the interest started. Okay, I do know actually. So in freshman year of school, every music major has, I can't tell a story. Every music major has to take an ensemble class. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing band or choir. That's so dumb and lame and stupid and meaningless. So I saw this class. It was called Mayupa Tapi, and it was Latin American music. And we learned how to play music from the Andes, like the little panpipes and the quenas. They're like recorders, kind of. I always played the drum. I just went through in every song. And then we played at this thing for the school. It was like for visitors in the visitor center or something. And it was like Latin American night for some reason, like talking to the sponsors for the program or whatever. And I saw the mariachi play after we played, and I was like, that's way cooler than this panpipe stuff. Which, they're both cool in their own way. I was really bad at the panpipes.
Panpipes?
I was getting discouraged.
And you play flute, don't you?
I do, so I was like, this will be nothing. I play flute, like, really well, so it's nothing like it. It's so much harder.
Well, like, that's the straight up and down ones, right? That's like
yeah,
here.
and you blow into them, yeah.
Is that not, don't you blow downwards as well into a flute?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know
curious.
why it was so hard.
No, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
different. I was just trying to.
But it's the same idea, like blowing over the top of it. But I think with the pipes, you have to like also blow into it more.
Okay.
Which is what was difficult. It was just super hard.
Yeah, because it was like it's not like a trumpet or something where you have to like buzz, right? Like.
Yeah, there's no like different technique. I think it was just very confusing, and the music was also very difficult. Like the timing was so not what I was used to.
Yeah.
All the songs were in like Quechua, and I was like, I can't do that language. Sorry, girl. It was like not Spanish at all.
That's what I was about to ask. I'm like, so what is Quechua?
Yeah, it's like the language.
It's a dialect from.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like the native language in the Andes area. I
that's
think.
Cool.
Yeah, something like that.
I actually kind of similarly avoided band, especially in middle school, but also in high school, because I was like, I'm good. That's not the kind of music I'd like to be fair, I probably should have, because like it would make probably reading other instruments a bit easier, because like I can read like drum sheet music. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's just symbols in order. It kind of tells you what to do.
Yeah.
There's really no extrapolating. Like, you literally need a legend, technically, to write, like, drum music. And so, like, that's easy. And so, like, I never really needed to.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point, this one dude he was just, like, talking mad shit. But he was, like, in drumline. And I'm like, dude, stop. Like, that's enough. And I don't remember exactly how it transcribed. But one day, I remember walking by the band classroom. And because he was just, like, talking shit about being such, like, a great drummer, I'm like, okay, that's cool. This is middle school, so, like, I'm not any good, but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm trying to learn. I would appreciate it if you didn't talk shit. And then I get a little heated, and, it goes back and forth. And at one point, I'm walking by the band classroom, and him and the band teacher come out, and they're like, oh, so you think you're good?
Hello?
I'm like, what? I guess.
This is a challenge.
And yeah, he's like, why don't you join band? I was like, I'm good. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then I just, like, walk away and go off to class. But it was so, like, awkward that, like, the band teacher came out and, like, low-key challenged me.
He's like, listen, I'm going to get fucking fired if I don't get enough students to join this
That's
class.
probably all it was. It's like, oh, someone's interested in music, and he just, like, approached it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because it was just, like, really awkward. Oh, no, because I think that was before. Yeah, that was before one of my friends who was in band, who I often would just go to school with in the morning because it made it easier for me to go to his house, and then my parents could go to work, and his parents could take me to school. But he was in band, so he had to be there, like, an hour early.
Ew.
And so I would go there and just, like, sit in the band room for an hour very often. Mm-hmm. But he'd be like, oh, do you play the drum? Like, come on. And, like, so me and him would do some drum stuff before the actual rest of the band usually would come in. And that's where I learned to play, like, a lot of the actual drums, was from him. So shout out Andrew, if you ever see this. But, yeah, and so I think this band teacher at this point knew I could at somewhat play the drums because he had seen me in the mornings. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know if the dude, like, went to him and was like, he's talking shit, help me.
Wah.
But, like, I was, like, really new to drums, so I don't even think I was, like, the instigator. Like, I'm I am weirdly, like if someone's talking shit, like, I'm gonna be overconfident a little bit and, like, stand my ground in a sense and probably say more than I should.
Yeah.
But I also know that, like, I was just starting and wouldn't instigate that either.
It sounds like he just wanted to fight.
That's kind of the vibe that I got.
That's weird.
I don't know.
I for some reason did band, which is so cursed because my friends in 6th grade were doing band and I was not. And I was like, sure, I'll join. But then, like, I was in beginning band, and they were not. And I was like, why? There was no point.
They're like, oh, you'll catch up.
But in the long run, it ended up being good because I learned how to read music. And before then, I was basically, like, tone deaf. Like, oh. Test me. No, I know. Oh, A.
Oh, okay. There's a piano right there.
No, but I did flute and learned how to play, and then went straight to symphonic band in 8th grade. I got to skip intermediate band because I begged the teacher because my friends were in that class.
I got to skip. I begged. I pleaded.
I begged. He's like, you're awful. No, I like would stay in the teacher's room after school for like hours until my mom would get me and my friend. And me and my friend would just like loiter in the band room, and he was just like trying to work. I feel so bad. Like, sorry, but also it had a big impact on my life. It was like a role model. But
I mean, that's what I did with like my engineering class almost every day, either at lunch or after school. I would just go loiter in her classroom.
I think it's normal to a degree. In high school, I joined marching band. I don't even remember having a choice in this. Like, I'm pretty sure my friend was like, oh yeah, you're going to do it. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Toxic. But I liked it at first. I did throw up at band camp on the first day.
On the first day?
I did throw up. It was more physical than I expected.
Yeah? Yeah.
And it was really hot. be fair.
That's where it's like it's so funny because like there are very clearly like a lot of physicality needed to like stand in the heat is what it feels like more than anything. It's because like yeah, there's a lot of like coordination, like you're walking, you're lifting these heavy things. But like if it was in the AC, I feel like everybody would be fine. Like nobody would really sweat that much.
Yeah, and but it's also the breathing part of it too, because you
That's
have
true,
to be hauling ass, walking in a very specific way, holding your arms up for like 10 minutes song, and then you have to have the music memorized, and then you also have to be playing as loud as you can. Most of the time, it's loud, but also like breathing
with the
walking,
choreography
not
and like
panting,
yeah,
out of breath.
And that's what it's like. It's like I remember because I played like football and baseball, and people were always like, I don't get how that counts as like a PE class. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting and playing the drums, you get absolutely washed, just so sweaty.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine like practically running and playing quads or the snare.
And they have to walk sideways, which is the craziest
to get into like the specific. And it is really cool to see like the Ohio State band and whatnot, and like all the different shapes and choreographies that they make.
It's the cool thing. But it was so weird. I quit after 2 years because I was like, hell no. This is so weird. They would make us sit on the floor before the competitions. They would turn the lights off. Everybody had to hold hands. And they would play this like weird classical song.
That was like your hype?
Yeah, that was our hype song.
That was your pregame?
But it was like a sad song. And then they would give us like a weird speech. And I'm like, I'm 15 years old. Like, it's not that serious, I swear. It was weird. I hated it.
And you guys were going into battle.
Yeah.
Competing against the other high school band that usually probably wasn't there because usually only high school bands are at home.
High school bands.
No, I mean, like, there are those competitions. I mean, what's the Nick Cannon movie? Drumline. Yeah. I mean, that's an incredible movie. It's so fun. And like the competitions and stuff, like that is really cool. I always think it is really awesome just to see like with symphonies and things, like this is like 30 to like 100 people all that like have to be in sync.
Yeah.
And like yeah, there is I think a little bit more room for error because there are so many people that like if one person's off, it can kind of get drowned out. Mm-hmm. But like only to a certain extent. After like a little bit, like you're changing the whole vibe of the band.
Yeah, that's cool.
Speaking of bands, should we get into some of the smaller ones that we've been listening to, following along recently?
So we wanted to talk about like our favorite local bands and like bands that we've seen before or like heard on Spotify. Yeah.
Still a little bit of a precursor. I think going forward we'll do like a full spotlight of a band or two. We'll break down their entire like discography, like why we like them, ups and downs.
Yeah.
Ideally interviews.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But just as like a little precursor, some of the stuff that we've been kind of working on, a lot of the people we've been working with, kind of want to shout them out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
My local fave is Lawn Darts. I have 2 Lawn Darts shirts and I have their little bag and their stickers everywhere. They're just really fun to watch more than anything. Like, I don't know. Did you see them at the Graveyard Fest? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
That was like the best part of the night. I thought. I mean, everyone there was great, but like that, I was most excited to see them.
No, he always has a great stage presence.
Yeah.
He can just really command a crowd.
Yeah.
And then, like, just on stage in general, the entire band just like legitimately looks like they're having a good time, which you can feel in the music, which then you can feel in the crowd, and like everyone's having a good time. And
they have a really like distinct sound, and it's like all the songs they play, you can tell like that's Lawn Darts, and it doesn't vary a crazy amount where it's like, oh, what are they doing? Why is that so random? No, it's like very, I don't know, it feels very complete and
succinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, I know what you mean.
They're one of my faves for sure. They're also just really nice and cool to work with.
Yeah. No, they're always fun to talk to in between shows or whatever. They
actually won Sound Clash the COVID year.
Oh, yeah?
It was like online, and Brie Larson judged it, and I was like, that's random.
That's specific. Yeah.
I don't know if she judged it or if she was like the host or whatever. It was on Zoom though, but yeah, that was weird.
Why didn't we get Brie Larson?
I was like, we got no one. We got the ASB.
Yeah.
But Brie Larson was there. I don't remember watching it. I was busy, but I know they won, and it was cool, and everybody was excited about it.
No, yeah. I mean, there's not much we can do when only you went to UCR and only UCR people were allowed to vote.
I know. Well, so. they change the rules every year, and it just gets confusing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Brie Larson's the judge one year. I'm like, what? And that's when everybody hated her really bad because of the Captain Marvel thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things where, like, it's definitely not her fault. Like, she's just playing a character.
Yeah, she's just an actress.
She didn't write the script.
Yeah. People are like, it's a woman.
Yeah, that too.
It could have been anybody, and they would have had the same.
Yeah. No, any. No, I mean, that's just one of the, like, one of the things I think is so stupid about, like, some of the comic book fans, because, like, every comic book character has, like, a male or female or, like, gender bent version of it in the comics somewhere. Like in the Black Widow movie, like, Taskmaster was, she's a lady instead of a man, and it's like, that seemed to be the biggest complaint, and not stuff about, like, the character or the movie or the fact that, like, we've waited until after they killed off this character to get a actual main movie for one of our leading lady actresses. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
Like, that's, I don't know. There's always that. So, speaking of leading ladies, my local band that I always got to shout out is Devil's Kettle. I'm obviously biased, but no, like, legitimately watching them grow, seeing them, like, they have this really good mix, kind of like us, where, like, they have the mix of, like, a lot of the heavier stuff, but it's not quite like these, like, metal shows that we've been going to, and it's like they're only playing, like, their straight, like, heavy punk. No,
it's like rock, but a specific kind
of
rock.
They're definitely on the heavier spectrum than us, which I like to listen to anyways. That's a lot more of what I listen to. But they still do the, like, rock songs instead of just metal. And I'm like, I really like that. That they have a big hair metal vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that can be fun. That's always fun to, like, listen to.
Yeah.
And Claudia's great. I mean, she's just a really talented vocalist. It's hard to beat someone who can play bass and sing at the same time.
And her stage presence is very impressive.
Yes.
Seeing them at the Whiskey, I know it was, like, a long time ago, and they had, like, different members. Claudia was not the singer at that point. But seeing them, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I feel like I'm watching, like, a huge band right now, and I'm, like, in the front row, and I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. It's just, like, the confidence on stage is really there.
Yeah, and the way that they all, like, kind of work together on stage, it looks very cohesive and, like, not, like, necessarily planned out, like, but like, it looks very natural, and, like, they like each other,
Yeah, they actually want to be there and have a good time, and kind of same thing with Long Darts, is that, like, in a different vibe, but, like, they want to be up there, so you want to watch them, like, it's a really good presence.
And I recently discovered with Claudia, we were watching Jennifer's Body, the movie, and the name of the town is Devil's Kettle. And I was like, is that why it's Devil's Kettle? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, okay. Like, I thought I cracked the code.
Figured it out.
In my mind, that's the reason.
It's definitely the reason. It's gotta be. Either that or just because it rhymes.
Devil's Kettle. Yeah.
Divvy Ketty.
Jennifer's Body, it just, like, goes along with their vibe.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
It's that, like, the horror, but not straight, like, Saw, like, depraved, just, like, there's still that, like, kind of the sex appeal and the more, I don't know, pop culture je ne sais quoi, in a will, not as, like, specific and niche, if that makes sense.
And also the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's true, too. That's always a good one.
I love that movie.
No, that's one of those things that, like, that's what's starting to scare me. Getting into one of our next topics is AI. Like, what happens now when these movie soundtracks are starting to be completely digitally generated? Like, should we continue? Is it time for a career change?
No, because we don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, we've already seen the issues of like, oh, there's an AI song with the AI The Weeknd, and it's on Spotify.
Yes, I have seen those.
What?
Those are so bad.
I think the big like labels and stuff are gonna shut that down.
No, they're the ones who are trying to do it.
Are they?
Yeah, because they can own the artist. Like previously, like labels, right? The one thing that they can't control is whether or not an artist does something, right? They can do everything in their power. Oh, you're going to have to do it this way, that way. I'm not going to release it if you don't do it, yada, yada. You're not going to get paid, whatever. But at the end of the day, you can't force an artist to make something, right? Like, they might rather die or change careers or whatever. But if you have some AI-generated robot,
then they can do whatever you want and not complain.
Yeah. It's like Sports Illustrated just got caught using AI reporters. They had full-blown like AI reports about things with pictures off of an AI-generated like picture website, so it's people that don't exist, with like bios of these people being like blah blah blah, went to this university, this is their experience, they're
that's so
grew
weird.
up loving this sport, and so that's why they cover this sport. And like they just got like caught like red-handed.
There's literally no reason to do that.
It's like journalists work for so cheap anyways. Like you can practically like make them unpaid interns.
Yeah.
Like the way that the industry's gone. Like so many social media pages are run by unpaid interns. Because like they're like, oh yeah, that's the in for this graphic design team on said company or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why you get some of those really, really good ones, but also like really bad like outtakes from people who are scorned at their company. They're like, I'm gonna quit now anyways. I have access to the login. Like, did you remember when like Twitter made like the verified thing like $8 or whatever it was? They made it paid. And, like, certain fake accounts came out as, like, Raytheon and, like, Northrop Grumman and, like, these, like, big defense contractors. And we're like, hey, actually, we feel like bombing innocent people for a living might not be a great thing. So we're going to, like, relax on that. And then, like, their stock prices actually dropped a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, people thought it was real for a split second, but enough.
Yeah, that's where it gets weird. I don't know. They need to make some like regulations on the AI and the internet stuff because it's such a new thing to society, and it's just like they need to figure it out soon. And
so like the guy from OpenAI, who's the company that made ChatGPT, he just resigned, or did he get technically fired? I'm trying to remember for sure. But basically, in a sense, he's very pro-regulation. He's like, hey, government, hello, like, this is getting bad. We need to do something. And then his company, the company that he was, like, running, basically, like, voted him out and was like,
nah.
What do you mean? Like, that's going to cost us money. And so it's like, yeah, if you look at, like, all the people who are behind, like, really pushing AI, it's sketchy. It's like Elon Musk, like Sam Bankman-Fried, and, like, all these, like, sketchy... I don't even want to say like entrepreneurial like people.
It's weird. The Snapchat thing was the weirdest of all.
I so refuse to use that at even a second. The fact that they just like gave you like an AI to talk to.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Nope. This feels very like scary, and like the little kids are gonna start talking to it and then not have any real friends, and it's gonna be like WALL-E.
Yeah, I know for sure they're like. The reason they make it like free and they just put it on every phone is because they're testing it. It's in like a infancy stage, and so as the more people that they can get to use it, the more refined they can get it to be. Which is one of my biggest like stances for not doing it is like, no, I'm not going to help you research this company thing at all.
And there were like instances of people messaging it, and it was like, okay, meet me at this park, like blah blah blah. And, like,
really?
The AI was like trying to meet up with people, and then when they would be like, what are you talking about? And then the AI would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. It would like gaslight you. You'd be like, that never happened. It's like, girl,
sounds about right.
So I don't know, something about it. Sometimes it feels really creepy, like the messages I've seen between people where it's like planning on meeting somewhere, or like it just goes off in a weird direction.
I like watching this one YouTuber, Doug, or Twitch streamer mostly, Doug, who he'll use like ChatGPT to make like really stupid like games. So like he'll I don't know, let's say play like a video game where you're like role playing a character, and instead of like making the decisions, he'll type in, okay, these are your options, what do you do? And then like have the AI basically write out, okay, we would walk to here and try this, da 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 da, and then go do it. And then it always ends up in some stupid like obscure corner of the map that you can't get out of anymore. And it's like the more we use it, the more we're learning about it. It's like, oh, we are still like years away from this being actually useful.
Yeah.
But it's close enough that people can lie about it. And that's, I think, where like the big danger is. Because yeah, with these like AI artists, it's like it's clear that it is, like it's still somewhat clear that it is AI usually, right? Like there's something about it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But some of them are so damn good.
I know.
That
the talking ones too,
like I will say, there's a Plankton from SpongeBob version of The Pot by Tool that is better. I would say better than the original. Like his voice fits it so good. It is so, like I will listen to that song and I'm like,
fire.
Oh, right.
It's not Plankton.
That's AI. Oh, yeah. My bad. I thought it was actually a little sea bacteria.
Yeah, he's not singing it.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's getting weird. I don't feel threatened, though, because I think at the end of the day, everyone's going to just be like, no to the AI thing. And eventually they will regulate it. And especially for music, like, that's an artistic thing. Like, it's a creative thing. Like, yeah, AI art is cool sometimes, but usually it's not.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what you have to have, like, human emotion and thoughts and feelings and, you know, imperfections.
It's like, I think we're still at the point where everything that is quote unquote AI generated has to come from some influence, right? It's not forming these thoughts out of thin air, which is an argument that I think that like we can make, that like we don't, like almost all of our thoughts are based on like past references and interpretations and feelings and subconscious things and whatnot. But ultimately, like, yeah, I think that is the biggest issue with it right now, is that everything that comes out is directly based off of like somebody's work. And so like, it's like, I did all this time and effort into making these paintings. You took a few pictures of it and now you can make stuff in my style. Like, that's fucked up. And I think that's where the regulation really needs to come in.
Because then that becomes like a copyright issue.
Yeah. You're just like directly stealing someone's, like, influence, but like livelihood as well.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, if you can just make something in somebody else's style, especially like, custom things, like if you're getting into like NFTs and like designs for like personalized artworks, because like that's I think a big thing for a lot of especially smaller artists is you have to sell commissions. You have to get a group of people, a clientele that'll be like, oh, you know what, I really want something that looks like this, but in this person's style, yada yada. My new apartment's missing a finishing piece, and there are people out there that have developed the skill, the time, the talent to put in and be like, hey, I can make anything look like this. If you like that, I'm right here. Hire me. And like, that's kind of gone. Like we can Google right now, like street caricature of us, and it'll pop up almost exactly in the style of like those people on like the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's, I think, where the biggest like stealing of money actually, like the soonest jobs getting thrown out the window would be.
Yeah.
But
it's weird.
That and the weird stuff.
The weed stuff?
The weird stuff.
The weird stuff. I thought you said weed, like marijuana.
Oh, yeah,
no.
AI,
what?
AI weed. don't even know I guess it'd have to be like AI grown. Like you have like some sort of like factory, I guess, that's run by AI.
Robots growing it, watering it.
Yeah.
Well, when we went to Seattle, there was a robot making coffee, so why can't a robot make weed?
I guess that's true. That is the thing. But I mean, you don't make weed, you would grow it. Like you grow coffee,
You pick it.
and then you make coffee by like, combining it with I don't know.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
So one of the other things I want to talk about is I just went to a show the other day. Went to go see one of my favorite bands.
My uncle was there.
That's funny. Yeah, I would not have guessed.
Really?
But yeah, I don't remember getting that vibe from any of your uncles. But I guess I don't know. Excuse me. Like Exodus was pretty popular. Like they're a pretty big thrash metal band. So
He's really into metal, and I think he was there for Exodus. But you were there for Fit for an Autopsy, right?
yes, yeah. Exodus was pretty cool, but not quite my style. Just a little before my time. But ultimately, the thing I want to talk about was I want to start a thing with like weird drummer spotlights. Because I've noticed a few weird drum setups. Like everyone's different, but they're like clearly like certain, I don't know, rules that people follow generally, right? Like, you look at the cross in the hand, you have this over here, your toms are here, yada yada.
The weird drumstick thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ew, I hate that. It's so ugly.
Do it upside down, the underhand instead of overhand. But ultimately, like the reason I want to bring this up is because, oh gosh, I had his name a minute ago. I need to find it because I don't want to say it. I don't want to be wrong. Is just weird drum setups. He had, I'll probably pull up a picture, his snare in the middle, but then his only two toms, one on each side of him. And that was it, as far as like his toms went. Nothing in front of him. And just two floor toms. Travis Orban of Darkest Hour. It's a metal band from DC. But he also had the two hi-hats here. And I think that was because he did a lot of switches with his hands. So he would do like the cymbals up here and then go to like switch his left hand. Like honestly, I would have guessed this dude was ambidextrous. Like if he didn't have just the bass drum over his right foot. Because like he also had his the ride cymbal like over here, off to the left, like behind it, the left hand hi-hat. So he had the two hi-hats, a left side ride, tiny little like bell, little crash, and then like one more ride, and like that was it. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Still incredibly intense, super fun. He looks like your stereotypical metal drummer though. Like let me get you a picture. We'll pull that up on screen for the people watching. But you can see here just for you.
Oh.
The two on the side, the one in the middle. And like I said, I think the big thing is it seems like he does a lot of hand switches so that he can go whichever way. Because that's why he also has the two hi-hats.
It looks like you could literally just cut the drum set in half.
And it would be two equal ones on each side. Yeah. And I'm like, that was so unique, but so cool. Because it was really simple. And then the next, like a few bands later, you have Exodus, who is two bass drums, like 30 cymbals across the top, like all the toms, double like row of toms so that he can have the little like closer to like conga little ones and like all those things. And I was like, so I'm gonna start doing little spotlights on that just to show the unique ways that people drum. I just think it's really, really like, because every time you go, someone set up a little bit different. It really is. Sometimes people like them the cymbal slightly higher, and like it's gonna be indicative of like they might not play as fast. Or someone who has their their ride really, really low, almost at like drum height, because they do a lot of blast beats or whatever. And we can really get into kind of breaking that down, ideally when we do the interviews too with said drummers.
Yeah, I kind of see how they do it. Something we also need to talk about, Spotify Wrapped.
Oof. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I didn't see yours.
Oh, mine? I don't think I posted it. But my top artist was Jid, J-I-D, rapper. From Atlanta. Love him. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough I could say about him. It's just so great.
What were give us like your top
I'm
5 songs, top genres, and top.
Oh gosh, let me pull it up. But I have most. I know like top 5 artists was JID, Jid. Weirdly, I got into Rage Against the Machine a lot this year. Just going like deeper into the discography because I was always kind of like surface level with them and like they were okay, and like they had a few things here and there that I was like, oh, I like that, but never enough for me to really like, okay, like I want to listen to these guys. So like I took some time to really like try and go deeper into their discography to see if what I was missing was there, and it just wasn't popular, and it was. So I listened to them a lot this year. Let's see, 3 was Led Zeppelin. 4, gosh, I can't remember. It was 4. 5, I know, was Linkin Park. I think that was mostly because they released the new album. Oh my goodness. Not album, the couple of older songs from, the unreleased ones and whatnot. And so getting kind of into those and then getting back into them. But I know that, like, I listen to a lot of, like, metal and rap are like my 2, I would say, biggest genres. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Fit for an Autopsy was number 4. That would make sense.
What was 5?
Linkin Park. Yeah.
Those are all good things.
Your top 5?
My top 5 artists, number 1. Well, first of all, this was the first Spotify Wrapped where it wasn't like bad enough to where I can't post it.
Yeah.
Like it's always been like Panic at the Disco and then like whatever songs we're learning.
Yeah, that's fair. The band songs do usually influence it, but
Yeah.
not as much this year.
Yeah, this year was actually good for me. So number 1 was Sir Chloe.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're playing a lot more original shows than cover shows.
That's true. We're not learning as many cover songs, which makes sense. But yeah, my number 1 was Sir Chloe, which is actually my favorite band, so that makes sense. I feel like I'm the top listener of all time because every time I get in the car, I just put on the full album.
What percentage did you get?
I don't remember. I think it was like 0.5 or something.
Okay, yeah.
0.5%.
Yeah.
Sir Chloe was number 1. Number 2, I don't remember the exact order, but I think number 2 was Måneskin, which I did see this year. Did I? I did. I went to San Diego and saw them. That's right.
That's so funny. I still love that story, how you bought those tickets after you bought the Italy tickets because you're like, oh yeah, I don't know when they're going to come to the U.S. I got to go to Italy to see them.
Yeah, I saw them in Pomona once, Italy once, and San Diego once.
But I mean, I'm sure like Italy was a completely different experience. Yeah.
Way cooler. I mean, they're obviously bigger in Italy, so it was more of an event.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Måneskin was number 2, I think. Paramore was number 3. Number 4 was Lana Del Rey, which I have been getting into heavily this year. And then number 5 is the Beatles, because I'm learning the Beatles songs. And they actually had a song come out recently, which is weird, but it's really cool. It was like a demo that they found of John Lennon like singing and playing. And
they made a song out of it?
Paul and Ringo like added to it. That's
kind of tragic.
I thought it was a really cool song. I liked it. And they made like a video and like put videos of them together.
I don't know. That's one of those things that I'm really iffy on personally. Like if you would have released the demo as the demo, that might be okay. And like, I don't know, like adding stuff to it, like I understand, like it is a demo, so I'm sure if he would have wanted like, if he was going to release it to have like it be a song and not a demo. And so like I kind of get that. But just something about like finding specifically like dead people's music to like really like push out there, it sometimes just feels really shady.
Well, I mean, they were bandmates and like best friends, so
I mean, yeah, but
I think if they thought
it's true, if anyone's gonna know, it would be them.
Yeah, and I think if they thought that he would have hated it, then they wouldn't have done it,
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, but what if they did though? But what if he did like hate it?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know.
You'll never know.
Yeah, that's the reason that it to me feels questionable sometimes. Yeah, like they're just like some people that it's just like, let the man rest. Please stop
No.
digging up his grave for $20. I swear. Top songs though. "People of the Sun" was a Rage Against the Machine one. That was one of the deeper cuts that I really liked. Just a really like heavy bass and drum song that's just really forward. "Bruddenham" is a JID song. "Possum Kingdom" by the Toadies, because we were doing that song. And then I needed to do a lot so that I could sing it too. So it was like double the amount so that I could sing it. Yeah, I have to practice it like 3 times. 1 time singing, 1 time playing, and then 1 time singing and playing.
Give us a taste.
Nah. I honestly, like, because of stuff that's happened, we haven't... It would take me a minute. I would need to remember.
We haven't gone over the cover songs in so long.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of getting back into it now a little bit, but not all of them.
Yeah, my minutes were down this year. Like, I wasn't listening to nearly as much music this year as I have been.
Same. I've been sitting in silence.
Dang, the Sound of Silence is back at you. Hall & Oates. R.I.P.
Oh my gosh. Well, the Sound of Silence, that's Simon and Garfunkel.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Simon and Garfunkel, Hall & Oates.
They're not the same.
They both have "and" in the name, okay?
I guess the names kind of, I can see that. I think we should sue each other for
We should
listening.
sue each other. Oh, that'd
It's
be
always
so
been-
good.
It's always been my dream. This is like a weird dream. I have weird dreams that I want, like my goals. When you were like, oh, what's your ideal venue? Pappy and Harriet's. Everyone's like, that's dumb. But it is. And then my other dream is to be on Live from Daryl's House with Daryl Hall.
Okay,
The TV show. But now I'm like, is that still happening?
Yeah, is that still going to be a thing?
Like, why? He is old now.
Well, no, like, okay, so, I don't know. I don't think I'm familiar with Pappy and Harriet, so maybe that's why it just sounds like a local bar or
It
whatever.
is. It's a local bar.
Oh, okay.
It's small, but I mean, they have like fairly medium-sized concerts.
Fairly medium. But I think it's more about, like, for me at least, I just want to be able to, like, not necessarily make music for a living, because, like, nobody makes music for a living, right? Like, music's always a side job. But, like, in that specific realm, right? Whether it is, I mean, for me, I think ideally I'd love to work on, like, soundtracks, especially for, like, video games and things as the side. But ultimately, like, able to not also have to have a 9 to 5
Yeah,
while doing music.
that's the goal.
But, after those two was Microphone Fiend, another Rage Against the Machine song, and then Cashmere by Led Zeppelin.
Is it the
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, at first I was like, what the fuck
I
are you
started in
talking
the
about?
middle.
Yeah.
I started in a weird place. I couldn't find the note in my mind, so I just started there.
I was like, that is like one of the easiest. Why did you? I don't know, Matt. You had me. You went dee 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 dee. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Cashmere, obviously.
Obviously, my bad.
Yeah. My top 5. Number 1 was Salivate by Sir Chloe. Obviously. That's weird because that wasn't my favorite. I like it. All of them. I like all of them, but not expected. That one. I saw a video when they recorded in the studio. They used a big trash can for like these big boom, boom.
Oh, that's
sounds.
fun.
And then I listened to it now. I'm like, it does sound like a trash can, but it's cool. I think number 2 was All I Wanted by Paramore. I would love to do that song, but it's really hard to sing.
Damn, that's crazy.
I could do it.
I think we need to add Misery Business back.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the lyrics are really of their time, but
I think
musically it's fun.
it's a really fun song, but it's just the tuning thing that's the issue.
Yeah.
You have to bring a whole extra guitar. I mean, I don't have to tune down, but
Yeah.
it's like a weird tuning. So yeah, All I Wanted, and then 3. What was 3?
Was it by the Beatles?
No. I think it was Decode by Paramore, the one from Twilight.
Of course.
Just because I love the Twilight soundtrack.
Obviously.
Obviously, great movie, great.
You
film.
did go on a trip there recently.
I did, just for and I played the Twilight soundtrack the whole time. My mom was like, I'm not listening to ha 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 another time. I was like, yeah, sorry. It was just like the movie though.
Yeah, well,
Except it wasn't blue and green.
It was Forks?
That's where the movie takes place. It was filmed somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Part of it was like in Canada, part of it was in Oregon, which we did go to where some of the scenes were filmed in Oregon.
Oh, that's right. It was like Bella's house or whatever.
Bella's house, yeah, like stuff like that was there. But we went to, I don't remember the name of the town, Puyallup? Puyallup.
I don't like that. Puyallup.
Puyallup. I'm like, I would rather die than live there. Like, just based on the name. And also, like, I can't live anywhere else but here.
Yeah, that's one of those things I've been thinking about and like talked about recently. Is like if we're to move, like where would we even go? There's nowhere that's gonna have a better options for like shows and gigs and things.
Yeah.
And then like, I mean, unless we want to go try doing like the whole big fish in a small pond thing where we like show up somewhere where there's like one other band.
Like, would that work?
And just like try and be like, yeah, we're better than you, so this is our scene now.
That would, it's too cringy.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just.
Well, have I ever told you my cousin was in a band and then randomly one day, I mean, they were like touring with like supporting other bands, kind of like if we were to go on tour, like that same kind of level.
Yeah.
But I think they did have more of a following than we do. But
who doesn't?
But one day,
three people watching this.
The 0 people, not even us watching it. But one day her bandmate was like, hey guys, we're going to either move to London or Tennessee to get a record deal. You pick. And I'll pay for everybody to live there for a year until we get signed. And I'm like, you live in Southern California? Like,
yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Tennessee, that was random. They were like a punk band. I'm like,
I mean, like, if you're like kind of in the country, that would make sense.
But they were not at all. So...
I mean, London would be really cool, though.
London, that one, I was like, that makes sense, because it's a different country. I guess you would have different options, maybe.
Yeah,
it's a punk place.
I mean, some people just like things specifically because they're foreign, like they're from somewhere else. It's a unique vibe, yada, yada.
Exactly. But, yeah, they didn't move, and it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Maybe we should try that.
Just try moving somewhere?
Let's go to Alabama.
Montgomery. Yep, we'll definitely do well down there.
They'd be like, they have dyed hair.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's the tough thing is it's like, that seems like an easy out in theory. Like, oh, that's the reason we're not doing it. Not anything else. That could be the reason.
Like, I think there's just 1 billion people on Spotify is what it is.
TikTok. Yeah. That's why like when we talked about like our numbers last year, like our actual streams were down, but percentage-wise, they were definitely up because we only released 1 song last year.
Yeah.
Right? And so as far as that goes, and then all the percentages of actual, like, followers and listeners and, like, views for the canvases and, like, all these things were up, like, significantly.
Yeah.
But we only released 1 fucking song, so, like, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Like, we could try being, like, one of those, like, weird, obscure bands who, like, only uploads on like Deezer.
No.
Or something,
Already.
BandLab.
Not BandLab.
Published to BandLab.
That's really cursed. DistroKid. But like they're.
But just the DistroKid specifically, not any of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think that's a good plan. Solid.
I think that was what we're missing. No. Honestly, I think it's just stage presence. I think we just need to on stage figure out something to be a little extra unique.
I don't even know if it's an on-stage thing. I think it's an online thing.
I mean, that does make it harder, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's why we have been posting like daily pretty much. Even I've been actually posting things recently. Not a whole lot, but more.
Yeah. My goal is to like make a TikTok where it's like me personally talking to the camera like once a day.
I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to talk about once a day.
Like, I have nothing to say to anybody.
Like, I could just like complain about something, but then I just feel like I don't want to be like one of those people online. I want like if I have like an online presence for it to be a little bit more curated, like a little bit more like specific to a vibe.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, that's where it's like I've started so many different like sports like YouTube channels or like TikToks or like whatever, and then I like do like 1 or 2 videos, and then I'm like,
Never mind.
like what am I? No one wants to hear me, but who wants to hear anybody? You know?
I know.
I don't know. It's all confidence. Like you just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like any of the like, I don't know. Like some of my like coworkers I've mentioned that are like into music, that have like said things like you know, I've always wanted to like play in a band. I'm like,
Do you?
Just do it. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Like, I'm just trying to see the benefits. Just kidding.
Yeah. No, but like specifically, like yeah, some of them are like into music and whatnot. I'd be like, oh, I've always thought about that. You know, like I play like a little bit, but and it's like so many people, including us, suck. Like pretty often.
Yeah.
You just go up there and you figure it out. Like I think it's a quote from like Dave Grohl that I really like. Is it's like you find a bunch of shitty friends, you find a bunch of shitty instruments, you go in a shitty garage and you make a bunch of shitty music until it's slightly less shitty.
Yeah.
And then you keep doing that. And eventually you figure it out. And it's like
you just have to start doing it.
Yeah. And that's why like I've always felt like with like I've always wanted to like do things like stream and like be a quote unquote like media person, because I mean like who wouldn't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In theory, get paid to just live your life. That's like
that's cool.
What it looks like from the outside at least. And then yeah, so many times it's a like a one off. Like, oh, okay, this is the time, this is the start. You know, now I got it. I got an idea for once. Like so many like half-written scripts and like half-researched projects and things like this. That's just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Try being an influencer for a day.
I saw this fucking video that was so funny. Like the concept of it is like, it's like basically like a day in the life of video of like a millionaire YouTuber or millionaire like media influencer, but it's just someone who takes like movie clips and like Family Guy fucking footage or like Family Guy footage and like the Subway Surfers. It was like, yeah, you know, I wake up every morning and I start by going through YouTube videos to find those background Minecraft clips. And then fucking, yeah, you know, I wake up, I go back to sleep, take a nap, and then, you know, go find some Family Guy clips for me to edit into them. And it's like so stupidly in depth about it. I'm like, okay, that's a good concept.
We should start doing that, maybe. But our song in the background.
Day in the life of a fucking, like...
No, like Subway Surfer, and then a video, and then our song in the background.
That low-key would probably be really smart. To just, like, mass get, like, numbers.
Or anytime, I like when people make videos when they hold Subway Surfers videos on their phone under them while they're talking.
We need to... Oh, my God. Okay, I have an idea. We need to get a cheap... either projector or large TV. Mm-hmm. Sideways, either above us or below us, Subway Surfers going. I feel like that would be hilarious.
That would be really... Now's the time to do it, because it won't be funny.
It won't be funny,
longer.
But yeah.
We need to get on that.
We do. I'll bring my TV to a gig next time.
Plug it in. It's so retro.
I don't know.
We also, so we are going to make a playlist of songs that inspire us.
Yes.
So let's give the people a taste. So tell me 3 songs that you're going to put on your playlist.
Oh gosh.
Of songs that inspire you to
songs that
music.
inspired me to make music. Jeez. This is a tough one because it's like, do I put stuff that is like specific to the songs that we already have on there, like going forward? Like,
think of it as like you personally.
Like for me,
it doesn't even have to be close to like what we do.
Honestly, one of the first ones, and I know this is kind of out there, but the first one off the top of my head is Handlebars, the Flowbot song. Something about it is just a really, really well written song to me overall, from the instrumentals, the way that it builds, the storytelling in it, the fact that he goes like A through Z, right? Like he starts with, you know, I can ride my bike with no handlebars, and ends with I can end the world in a Holocaust, like step by step, and almost like holds your hand to show you like, hey, this is how it happens. And it's like, it is taking a side, right? Because like you don't use the term like Holocaust without implying that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like outright being like, yes, this is a bad person who's chosen to do a bad thing. They're evil, raw. Like it's like, hey, this is a person who was selfish, of course, but like grew from the selfishness being a slightly big issue to being a massive world issue, and like the human aspect of it. And I just think it's really well written, and obviously sounds good.
It's a good song.
It's fun, yeah.
So,
What's your first one? I have to give me a minute to think of a few more.
I honestly didn't think about it, but just off the top of my head, this is a weird one. It's not weird, but it's not great. I don't love this song very much, but when I do hear it, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Hotel California.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not like the best song in the world because it's so like tired and overplayed, and we
That's
play
fair.
it, so we're like.
I mean, songs that are overplayed, there's a reason they're overplayed, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But that song, I'm like, I should go make a song.
Yeah?
Every time I hear it, yeah.
No, that's fair, because it does feel like a very musician song.
Yeah.
To me, because like you can tell that like everyone was being creative on this song. There's no just I'll just play the chords. I'll just keep the beat. I'll just sing the note. Like it's very
cool.
clear that everyone was like, yes, like let's do that, let's do this. Like, oh, that made me think of this, and like there's like a creative process that you can feel from it. And maybe that's all bullshit, right? Like I don't know the people. I don't know how it was actually written. Maybe it was all written by one guy who is assigning people parts, and I doubt it. But ultimately, like I get what you mean. Like it does have a really creative feel to it.
It's a cool song.
I kind of get something similar with it's kind of a unique one. I don't know if you know. It's called Toe to Toe by Streetlight Manifesto.
I don't think I've heard it.
But Streetlight Manifesto they're technically like a ska punk band, right? I think I've mentioned them to you before. I think it's just like 7 guys, right? Just you have your bass, guitar, drum, and then like 4 people who play brass, essentially. But they can make just them sound like just like this massive orchestra, just these walls of sound and energy. And so like almost anytime I listen to them, but specifically Toe to Toe and the drum part on Toe to Toe, the ghost notes are just like very specific, and they really drive the vibe in the end of the song to me. Like it just makes it so much more dancey and like very vibrant. And I'm like, then it's really inspiring for something that's like so simple and probably under the radar, in my opinion, and for most people, that like really changes the vibe of the song, that like is really driving to me. So that'll probably be my second one that'll be going on there.
Yeah.
I'll have to, I don't know, think of a third one at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the plan is to make playlists and then put them on a Spotify.
Yeah.
So people can kind of like get to know us personally better.
Yeah, I'll do them individually. She'll have one. I'll have one.
We'll try not to put the same songs on both of them.
Yeah. You can probably, I guess, you'll get 6 of our songs. I'll do the other 5 of our songs.
Yeah.
And kind of try and match the vibe, so that in theory, if you're like, oh, I like these songs, oh, I like this one too, yada yada. And just kind of keep the personality flowing in a sense. Like try and get connected with some of you guys. Oh, we love it. Like when y'all leave the comments and be like, oh, was that like I remember we did an interview with someone, I don't remember his name for the life of me at the moment, and he was like, oh, was that song inspired by Dreams by Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
And it's like, that feels so good to know that like someone's like actually like listening and like paying attention.
It makes sense.
And feels our music. And like anytime we go to those like karaoke shows and it's like, oh hey, The Oddity, oh hey, from The Oddity, it's like oh, this is incredible. Like it's such a weird feeling.
I know. That one time I was recognized in public. I was like, I'm telling everybody and I'm never letting anyone forget.
Never. Yeah. And I mean like that's kind of what it's about. Not like the recognition, but like the meeting people. The fact that like, hey, we have these similar interests, or the work that we've done has touched you in some way. whether it is stupid and silly, right? You just got a good laugh out of it, or you just thought whatever we did was so artistic that like you loved it. Whatever, like just the sharing of the human connection in a sense.
Yeah.
And like not even in like that deep of a way, just to be like, oh, you like this, I like this, awesome, we're friends now. Like,
yeah, music brings people together.
Sorry, my hair's not down. Can't flip it.
How dare you?
No, but yeah, that's to me what it is. Like, I think I told this story like on the last podcast, I think, where I went to the show. This lady, lead singer, she just recently got over lung cancer, and had me crying in the pit because she was just screaming her lungs out. Shout out to Therapy San Diego. They're another one of those smaller bands that's not like in our local mix, but down in San Diego. And I had just lost my grandmother to cancer, and it was like this just really beautiful sense. And I was like, yeah, just this is what music's about. This connection, the fact that like, you know, we're here to support you. You're here to give us a show in a sense, to entertain us, to let us forget about whatever troubles it might be for a short period of time and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what we're trying to do. That's at least what I'm trying to do. That and make money.
I'm trying to stop doing this so AI can take over.
Trying to let AI take all the jobs so I can go be a couch potato.
That's the plan. That's the vibe.
If I get famous enough, just sell off my influence, my voice, my image and likeness, and then just make a small commission off of whatever somebody else sells.
And then when we're old, I'll sue you.
Yep.
After everything's already over.
Yeah, exactly. Hall & Oates style.
Yeah.
Well, because that was the thing. I swear I think it's Oates. Whoever's suing who, I swear has been kind of sue happy for a little while now.
Who else did he sue?
I'm trying to remember. I can look it up. But I swear that there were like a couple other bands in the last couple years that have had like issues with Hall & Oates.
That's funny. Well, maybe we might not get invited onto Live from Daryl's house because Zero Effort kind of sounds exactly like Family Man in a way.
Yeah.
Not exactly like it, but it's in the same key, same riff.
Also sounds like that Weezer song. So
different key?
Oh, my bad.
But it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's
different vibe.
That's music. Like, I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but there's a Rage Against the Machine song that like the intro, I think it's Wake Up. But the main riff is basically just the same exact riff as Kashmir. Yeah, that one specifically actually. Yep. No, but just the da na 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 like
it's all the same shit. It doesn't matter.
It's just like a slightly higher key, and it's like similar tempo, similar pacing, like all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, no lawsuit. It's like I don't know, all music is kind of derivative at this point. Like, or at least sounds like it could be derivative. And it's like sitting at home just with a keyboard and whatnot, like no matter what you come up with, it's probably the same or similar to something else that's already out there. There's just so much music already out there.
Yeah.
Which sometimes feels a little disheartening to think about it like that like almost no matter what we could create, like in theory isn't all that original. But it feels like it is.
Yeah.
You know, like even if it is similar to something else, like it's still us.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's our thing. I mean, what do they say? You know, good musicians make music, great musicians steal it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why we're not famous. We haven't started stealing anything yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We recently went on some podcasts with other musicians, which was cool to meet.
Yeah. No, those were fun.
We went on Consistently Off, which is a podcast by, what's their, Speed of Light? No, it's not Speed of Light.
Oh, gosh.
What's the band? I'm confused because there's a podcast name and a band name, and there's two separate accounts.
I think it was something like that.
Film Speed, I think is what it was called.
I think that's what it was.
It was like 2 months ago, so I forgot. But yeah, Film Speed.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Another three-piece.
Yeah, they were so fun to hang out with. Yeah, Film Speed.
And one of the guys was an ethnomusicology
Yeah, he
major.
was.
I was like,
same
whoa,
year.
that's crazy.
No, yeah. So definitely go check them out. Sincerely Off podcast. We had a great time with them. Announced a few things there.
They were so cool, and we were listening to their music, and it was just really.
No, it was a good time. Yeah, we were listening to it on the way up just to get familiar with them. Yeah.
Yeah, we really liked it. Different from us, but really cool.
No, they had a really cool vibe. Like you said, the one, for life I can't remember his name at the moment, but being a major, and then the other two being a bit more casual, kind of gave it a very similar vibe to what we have almost, where it's like a very kind of by the book, and then very, I don't know how to read, so don't bother showing me the book.
Yeah.
Which creates a unique sound.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool. So make sure you check that out on YouTube. The link
definitely
will be in our bio. And then we also went on a different podcast.
Don't ask me. You said that. I don't remember his name.
I don't think there's a name for it, but it's
no, he had a name.
Media by James Samaj.
Yeah.
It's James backwards. That's the guy's name. I don't know what the podcast is called. I don't think there's a name for it, but.
But no, that one was really awesome too. He was a great host. I felt like I could have talked to him for forever.
Yeah, he's really cool, and he said he was in like a Blink-182 tribute, right?
I think so.
It was cool to talk to somebody who is also like partially a cover band, partially original artist.
Yeah.
Same deal. So yeah, we're out here meeting some cool people.
No, because I mean that's one of the things with us, especially that is like kind of, I don't want to say like unique, but different, is the fact that we do like pushing covers. We do like playing covers and like putting our own spins on them / making it, I guess, easier for the audience to be involved. And like I get it that like to an extent it is almost like a cop out. Like it's quote unquote easier.
Yeah.
But we get paid to do it. I legitimately enjoy it. People seem to enjoy it when there's a live band that plays songs that they know.
Yeah, everybody wants to hear songs that they know.
Yeah, like.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb when people are like, oh, cover bands are so dumb. But it's like, okay, literally everybody used to do covers. Everything used to be a cover. Like if you think of like 50s, 60s, 70s music, so much of that was just covers. So. Yeah. Why was it fine then? But then now when we do covers, it's like, oh, that's dumb. It's like, okay, well, we're actually getting money and you're not. So.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I get it. It is like an elitist thing to an extent.
Yeah.
And so, like, some people, like, if the thing that you really get from it is putting out your voice, your message, whatever you're putting out to the world, and you feel like you don't get to do that in covers. Because especially as a drummer, like, as long as I'm in time, I can basically play whatever I want. And, like, yes, it'll change the vibe of the song. Yeah. And so, like, sometimes that's a good thing where, like, we can make a song that's maybe a little bit slower while everyone's still in a good party or mood, a little bit faster or a little bit more entertaining or whatever, which allows me to have that creativeness. But also, like, you can keep it a little tame and stick to what was written so that people don't go too far off the expectation. And so, like, I get it. Like, if you only want to put your message, your thoughts, your quote-unquote creativity out there, okay, like, that's fine. But I don't know. I still feel like there's just a connection to music that you can really get through covers, through taking the work that somebody put into it, right? They're putting their emotions, their whatever they are trying to get out of said song, delivering it to you, and then you're taking whatever vibe it might be, and then trying to either change it to a different vibe for certain covers depending on the kind of cover, or trying to recapture that and then give that to somebody else. Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool. I enjoy doing that. And there are some incredibly talented drummers out there who have allowed me to play parts because they thought it up that I guarantee I never would have thought of in a million years. Yeah. Which has then led me into thinking of new parts for our songs.
Yeah. For me, that's the Beatles thing, because when I learn all the songs, I'm like, oh, that's very different And then I'm like, why don't I do something different?
But yeah, that's why like I do, one of the reasons I do listen to a lot of metal is because I feel like because the genre is already so niche, especially like a lot of the like the heavier, the like deathcores and whatnot, that the people like in bands like have to do something unique because it is so like specific these days to stand out, which then creates this like line of new creative spaces. I don't know, I just think that's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a
Nothing
lot.
wrong with doing covers.
Nothing at all. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, everyone who's weird about it should die.
Should die.
Should literally die.
Yeah. All right, I guess we should wrap it up with some of our shows coming up in the next couple of days. Only got a few.
Yeah. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be like mid-December. So you can see us at Wild West in Winchester Saturday, December 16th, 4 to 8. And my students will be opening the show for us.
Really?
Special treat. I have a little kid band and then a teenager band. And they're going to be playing some songs.
Are we still playing 4 hours?
4 hours minus 6
whatever
songs.
they play?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. I was like, what is this?
I'm like, I don't know what I told you.
Are we playing 4 hours plus whatever they play?
No, it's still 4 to 8 that they're starting. Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be really cool. They're going to do some Christmas songs.
No, that is fun. I do like that.
Their little thing got canceled. It was supposed to be that day. And I was like, just bring
tragic.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to double check with Wild West, but.
Oh, yeah, they know. Yeah. So that's going to be really fun. And then after Christmas, we have December 29th at Vail Lake. Little pre-game for New Year's. New Year's weekend is probably, it might be busy there. People might be.
I would think so. I would hope so.
We'll see.
You never know with there. Sometimes it's really busy when it shouldn't be. Sometimes it's not busy at all when it should be.
And it's going to be pretty cold, so
Hell yeah.
people don't want to camp when it's cold.
It is on the lake.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And then January, I don't think we have anything planned yet. No, we do have Vail Lake.
I thought we had one.
Vail Lake on the 26th.
Yep.
Check us out. Follow us everywhere. Follow
The Oddity Band.
Yes. Follow Mariachi Sonido Dorado.
Gotta get all those out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. We are the Oddity. Take care.
Good night.
Oh.